Cubs are gonna win this game. Go, Cubs, go! Go, Cubs, go!
The Chicago Cubs are on the air, and this afternoon the Cubs have come home to start their last long homestand of the year, and it starts off today with the Philadelphia Phillies. The young left-hander Steve Trout against the veteran, and he is that 41-year-old Jerry Koosman for the Philadelphia Phillies. Cubs have done well against the Phillies in the last two series against them, and they need to do well here to start it off on the homestand on the right note to keep things going in the right direction and keep reducing that magic number. Hello again, everybody. This is Milo Hamilton, along with Lou Boudreau and Vince Lloyd, greeting you from Wrigley Field. It's an overcast day. There is a threat of rain sometime in the next 2 to 3 hours, so they want to get it in and not have to worry about doubling up tomorrow. We'll take a look at the starting lineups in a moment. Right now, I want to remind you that the game between the Cubs and the Phillies this afternoon is going to be brought to you by G. Heilemann Brewing Company, makers of old-style beer. Pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally. By Tallman Home Federal, a legacy of care, a future of commitment. By True Value Hardware Stores. The more you got to do, the more you need True Value Hardware Stores, because they've got what it takes. By Chevrolet, with the technology, the performance, the style, the innovation, the quality, and the value that make up today's Chevrolet. And by Marathon and your local Marathon dealers and distributors. Marathon, best in the long run. Wind blowing out. I guess if you want it blowing anywhere, when you come home you want it out, because you figure with most clubs you can out-homer them. The Phillies do not fall in that category. They've got some big boppers as well, and they've got some right-hand power in there against Trout today. The left-handers are warming up. We'll take a look at the starting lineups. And right now, here they come for the visiting Phillies. Leading it off and playing second, Juan Samuel. Von Hayes, center field, hitting second. Mike Schmidt, third base, batting third. The cleanup hitter today is their first baseman, John Walkenfuss. Ozzie Virgil will do the catching and hit fifth. Their sixth hitter, right fielder, Glenn Wilson. John Russell's in left, batting seventh. Steve Jeltz is the shortstop, batting eighth. And Jerry Koosman on the mound with a record of 14-11. Talking with the Phillies, they say could easily have 18 wins. They have really blown some leads for him. 14-11, 1-0 against the Cubs, 20-12 against them lifetime. So up at the top for Paul Owens' Phillies, you find Juan Samuel, Von Hayes, Mike Schmidt. The middle three shows John Walkenfuss, Ozzie Virgil, Glenn Wilson, and the bottom three, John Russell, Steve Jeltz, and Jerry Koosman. For Jim Fry's division-leading Cubs, leading it off, playing center, Bob Dernier. Ryan Sandberg at second, hitting second. The three-hitter is the left fielder, Gary Matthews. At first base, Keith Moreland, batting cleanup. Davey Lopes will be in right field today, and he will bat fifth. Ron Say is the third baseman, batting sixth. The seven-hitter, catcher, Jody Davis. Larry Boa, batting eighth, playing short. And on the mound, Steve Trout, record of 12-6, 1-0 against the Phillies, and 3-2 against Philadelphia lifetime. So for the Cubs, up at the top, Bob Dernier, Ryan Sandberg, Gary Matthews. In the middle, Keith Moreland, Davey Lopes, Ron Say. And the bottom third, Jody Davis, Larry Boa, Steve Trout. Darren Johnson and John Vukovich, the two first base coaches representing Paul Owens and Jim Fry, getting together with the umpiring crew, the same crew that we had in New York. Joe West will call the balls and strikes. Frank Pulley at second, crew chief Doug Harvey at second. Jerry Crawford will call them at third. So the Cubs, as they start the action here today, facing the Phillies in the next to the last time for another season. They are 8-8 with the Phillies, 2-5 here. Now the crowd is being asked to stand, and the River Grove High School Band will play our national anthem. school band with our national anthem from Wrigley Field. This big crowd welcoming the Cubs home, ready to settle down. We'll be back with the first pitch from Trout right after these messages. Leads the big leagues in stolen bases. Well, when he gets down into that trench, maybe we'll be ready to play here. He really dug in. All right, Trout is ready. The first pitch of this game, way high, a fastball, and we're underway. Samuel has hit 3 of his 11 home runs against the Cubs. He's a .225 hitter against Chicago pitching. Hayes on deck, then it'll be Schmidt. 1 ball, no strikes. Trout to the motion, kicks and fires, swinging a foul up to the right side out of play, and the count is even at 1-1. What a Monday welcoming crowd.
Yes, indeed, a great crowd. Once again, I would say over 30,000.
If they can stay right on that, 2 million is within sight. A ball and a strike. Right-hand batter waiting. Trout delivers. Swinging and a comebacker. Trout grabs. Goes. Oh, man, a bullet. And Trout put the glove. He wasn't even through following through, and there it was in his glove.
And he caught the ball behind him. It was hit that sharply right through the middle of the diamond.
Well, he must have been watching some kid down in Midland field his position. I don't know the guy's name. What is his name?
I just spell it as Hodo or something like that.
Jimmy Boudreau is up in our booth today after coming back from his Double-A season in Midland. Here is Hayes. First pitch to him is down low a ball. Hayes hitting .306, 14 homers, 58 runs batted in. Hayes has 4 of those 14 homers against Chicago. Low again, ball 2.
It's hard to believe, Milo, but Jimmy Boudreau is looking even more fit and trim than his illustrious father. Now, be careful.
Well, it's close. Yeah. Here's the 2-0 pitch, fouled off to the right side, and it's 2-1.
You need my glasses, Milo?
Yeah. The Mets tonight are at home with the St. Louis Cardinals. It'll be LaPointe and Fernandez. Start the action here today with the Cubs in front of the Mets by 6, 11 over the Redbirds, and 11.5 over the Phillies. There's a bouncer back behind second. Boa had him played perfectly, fires on to Moreland, and it's 2 away.
I'm glad Trout did not touch that ball or block it because Boa was protecting the middle of the diamond on Hayes when he was in the proper spot.
2 up, 2 down, brings up third baseman Mike Schmidt. Schmidt will step in with nobody on in front of him, 2 down. If he's going to bat 4 or 5 times today, this is the way you like him to bat, nobody on.
Yeah, and if you notice, Owen, manager of the Phillies, moved him up 1 spot also since the last time we saw Philadelphia.
Get an extra turn, right?
Yes. They give him that extra time at bat.
First pitch was in for a strike, and Schmidt has asked Joe West to look at the ball. He does, throws it right back to Trout. Schmidt hitting .277, 30 homers, 10 straight years that he's done that, 95 runs batted in. 3 of those 30 homers are against the Cubs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ball, 1-1. Schmidt has driven in a dozen runs against the Cubs. Hayes has driven in 11. So they've got some firepower. Their pitching has hurt them, and their defense has hurt them. Started after it. Laid off in time. It's the ball. They asked for an appeal. First base umpire says no, he didn't. When they wait that long to ask, seldom do you get the call.
I think the crowd actually asked Jody for that appeal.
2 balls and a strike. Walking Puss would be next. Trout ready. Left-hander delivers. Swinging, bouncer through the hole, a base hit. A leaping Lena between Say and Boa. Matthews up with it, fires it in to Say, who had moved over by second base when they crisscrossed. So it's a 2-out single for Mike Schmidt. Let him have those all day.
Wow.
Here's Walking Puss. Walking Puss has caught some against the Cubs, but today he's starting at first base. Hasn't played much against the Cubs. Only batted 7 times, 2 for 7, 1 homer, 3 RBIs, and the home run was against Trout. It's the only one Trout has given to the Phillies. He has it. He's batting .289, 6 homers, 23 runs batted in, exaggerated close stance, and the pitch is a ball 1-0. He almost got his feet together. Looking right back at the catcher. There's a bouncer off the pitcher's glove. Bouncing in front of second. Boa is there. Throws him out. And it'll be a 1-6-3. And Boa came hard and threw him out and made it easy. So 1-6-3 takes care of Walkenfuss, and we have played a half an inning in the opening game of a two-game series. Phillies are scoreless with one hit. The Cubs are just now coming into bat. Bob Denier will lead it off at the bottom of the first inning against Koosman. His battery mate is Virgil. An infield first to third of Walkenfuss, Samwell, Jeltz, and Schmidt. Koosman's first pitch to Denier. Swung on a slice to short. Good stop by Jeltz. Fires on to first and got him. Good quick reaction. He didn't get any bounce at all.
Oh, he did. That ball scooted as the ball was hit very well by Denier. And Milo, in talking with the Philadelphia Phillies, from what they've seen of Jeltz, they just rave about him. They think he could be another Ozzie Smith defensively.
Well, that's high praise.
Yes, it is.
Here is Ryan Sandberg. Rhino's hit safely in 19 of his last 22 games. The Philly outfield, Russell left, Hayes center, Wilson right. Rhino hitting .320, number 2 in the league, 18 homers, 74 runs batted in, and here's the pitch to him low inside the ball. Koosman is 41 years old. Get a kick out of the story because when he went over to the Phillies, they put him in the press guide, of course. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul back out of play. They listed him as 40. He says, When's the last time you heard a player correcting it up instead of down?
It's always the other way. Not up, but he's a veteran. He knows how to pitch. His knowledge of these hitters are tremendously well. Concentration is part of his game.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball, and he's still got a good fastball.
Yes, he has. Now, normally, he will use his let-up and slow curveballs about 75% of the time. Whether he does it in Wrigley Field or not, we'll have to wait and see.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The veteran lefty ready. Here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch, and there it was, and he used it for the strikeout pitch.
There it is. A very good curveball. It's slow, and it breaks very sharply down and in to a right-handed hitter.
That'll bring up Gary Matthews. The Sarge steps in, batting third in the order. Hit safely in 20 of his last 25 games. And the wind and the pitch on the way. And it is a strike at the knees call. Matthews hitting .299, 12 homers, and 72 runs batted in. 1 home run against Philly. And that's just a bit inside the ball, and it's 1-1. Looks like Jim Rebant's got a group out here today. Turning from Park Ridge is the PA voice of the DePaul Blue Demons. Got his Cub cap on and everything. A strike to Matthews, and it's 1-2. Koosman ready. Into the motion, rocks, kicks, and fires. There's that off-speed pitch, and he fouled it off.
I certainly hope he doesn't have to use that umbrella he brought with him.
Oh, I don't think he will. Oh. With that big Cub cap, as long as he's got his nose covered, he'll be all right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A ball, and it's 2-2. Nobody on, 2 down. The pitch, swing and a foul back into the screen. Phillies in the first inning had a single from Schmidt. That's the only hit so far. As Koosman shakes off a sign, now he's ready. 2-2 on the way. Swing and a foul. Boy, he likes to run that breaking ball down and into those right-hand hitters. And it's 2-2. Phillies are here again tomorrow, regular time. 1:20 first pitch. On the air, 12:55 for the Jim Pry Show. First game in a 10-game homestand. Here's the pitch. Swinging and fouling it up to the right side. Changes speeds, moves the ball around, up and down, in and out. That's where the 41 years comes in.
Yes, indeed. He knows that every pitch must have a reason behind it.
Another 2-2. Tried to change it and did, but threw it in the dirt. And it's 3-2. Keith Moreland, batting cleanup and playing first today, would be next. Matthews, who's second in the league in walks. Let's see what happens on this 3-2. Swing, bouncer, third, convenient hop for Schmidt. Fires on to Walkenfuss, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Koosman. We have played an inning at Wrigley Field. No score. Second inning, Ozzie Virgil will be leading it off. Virgil batting .267. He's hit 18 homers, 63 runs batted in. Swing and a miss with a good fastball. Virgil has 2 of his 18 homers against the Cubs. Wilson on deck, then it'll be Russell. Ozzie Virgil, right-hand batter waiting. Off-speed breaking pitch, sends a high pop into shallow left. Boa out. Matthews on. Matthews will yell him off and make the play. And the right play. Matthews had the best look at it. So Trout takes a page out of Kuzman's repertoire. Gets him with an off-speed pitch. Right fielder Glenn Wilson will be stepping in. Batting with nobody on, one away. Russell, the left fielder, on deck. Wilson, right-hand batter. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a foul way up to the right into the upper deck. Wilson is hitting .318 against the Cubs, 7 for 22. .240 batting average, 6 homers, 31 RBIs, and a strike call. Trout with good movement on the fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. Wilson, straightaway stance. Holds the bat high waiting. Here's the pitch. A little tight under the letters, and it's 1-2. Besides the Cardinals at New York tonight, Montreal will be at Pittsburgh. Houston will be at home to Atlanta. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Boy, Trout has good stuff.
That ball seemed to tail away from the right-handed hitter. That's how fast he is. When he turns it over, normally he keeps it low.
Left fielder John Russell stepping in. We didn't see him until the last road trip. Started to sprinkle here. He went 2 for 9 in that series. He's got some power. And that's a ball. It's 1-0. Sits safely in 10 of the 14 games since they brought him up. Nobody on, 2 down. Trout delivers. Swing and a foul up to the right. Back over the catwalk. It runs on each side of the press box, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Rookie shortstop Steve Jeltz would be next. Swinging, fly ball right field, slicing. Going over to the line, Lopes has it. Side retired. 3 up and 3 down for Trout in the second inning. After an inning and a half, Phillies nothing, Cubs nothing. As we come back, we have a strike 2 count on Moreland. He just fouled one off to move the count to 0-2. Moreland comes in with a mini streak of 5 straight games. .290 batting average, 15 homers, 75 runs batted in. Lopes will be next, then save. Kuzman winding, delivers. Backs him off the plate at the knees, and it's 1-2. Lopes playing right field. Moreland at first base. They're starting a lefty, and Durham not in there. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul up to the right. That was a pitch up and away. Out of the strike zone. And as he made the step to go up after that pitch, kicked dirt over the plate, Joe West does a little house cleaning. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind continues to blow out of the east, right up over the left center field bleachers. Here's the pitch. Swinging. Bouncer toward third. That is a fair ball right by the bag. Schmidt across to Walkenfuss, and it's 1 away. That ball took a crazy bounce on Schmidt.
But Schmidt does it so easily, and he has such a great arm and accurate. I have very seldom seen Schmidt throw the ball away at any base.
1 up and 1 down as Davy Lopes moves toward the batter's box. Lopes started the game over there in Philly, went 2 for 5. This is the first chance for the Cub fans to welcome Davy, and they've just done that. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Boy, it'd be a while since these 2 guys saw each other. No, that's not right. He was at Oakland when Kuz was with the White Sox last year.
Yeah.
So Lopes probably saw more than some of the Cubs did over the last few years. A strike on an off-speed pitch. Lopes didn't like Joe West's verdict on that even a little bit. And it puts Davy in a hole 0-2. Ron Say due up next. No balls, 2 strikes. Virgil with the sign. Kuzman delivers. Off-speed breaking pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Phillies nothing, Cubs nothing. We're in the bottom of the second. Tomorrow we'll end it for these 2 clubs against one another for another year. They've split the first 16 they've played. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Off speed again. Bouncer foul past third. So it's still 1-2.
Well, all he's done is give him garbage so far, isn't it?
He's only thrown about 2 fastballs. One of those he wasted on Moreland, and he went after it and fouled it off. The other was a good fastball to Matthews and got it for a swinging strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Koosman ready, and the lefty brings it. High inside, and it's 2-2. Well, as Lou pointed out earlier, about 75% of the stuff he throws is breaking, and a lot of it off speed. But he's still got the good fastball. You can't ignore it. Swinging and a bouncer to short. Jeltz digs it out of the dirt, fires on to first, and it's 2 away. Steve Jeltz to John Walkenfuss. Brings up the Penguin, Ron Say. Say will be batting with nobody on, 2 down. Koosman has retired the first 5 Cubs to face him. Cubs have hit 19 home runs against Philadelphia, and the Penguin leads the way with 6. So 6 of his 25 against this Philadelphia pitching staff. Say hitting .233, leads the club in RBIs 89, goes out to the first pitch, pops it. Shortstop went back on the glass, now comes back in about 4 steps, has it, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jerry Koosman. We've played 2 innings, and there's still no score. Nobody on, 1 away. Trout looks in, gets the sign from Jody. Winding, and here it comes. Swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout number 2.
May I add that both pitchers, about from the 5th or 6th inning on, will make mistakes which have been costly to both men.
I'd go to the top of their order with Juan Samuel. Hit a bullet back to the mound in the first that Trout found in his glove as it went by and threw him out. Juan Hayes would be next. Trout working quickly, pitch on the way. Fastball outside, 1-0. Then 1 hit, it belongs to Mike Schmidt of the Phillies. Trout here today going after his 13th. He's 12-6. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul up under the upper deck. Hits over onto that catwalk and stayed there. Don't see that very often, do you?
No,
you don't think that was Lou Terry, do you?
No, he'd throw it back on the field.
1 ball, 1 strike. Looked like a guy wearing an old-style sweater. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is a strike called, and it's 1-2. Nobody on, 2 down. Juan Samuel. Offensively, he has helped them. Defensively, he has hurt them. Swing and a bouncer foul off to the left. Remember, he opened the gate to allow the Cubs to win one of those 2 at Philadelphia on the last trip. And early in the year, he missed some double play balls that hurt them. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trout now ready and into the motion, 1-2 pitch. Up high a ball. Took something off of that one. 2-2. Tomorrow it'll be Eckersley against Hudson. Eckersley, who since the All-Star break has been one of the top pitchers, not only in our club but in the league. There's a swing and a foul back. Eckersley's record is really deceiving, and it seems like some pitchers get runs scored for them. Sutcliffe would be the first to tell you that. And Eckersley pitches in those games where runs are hard to come by for him. He's had to leave some games that the Cubs went on to win. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trout shook off a sign. Now he's ready. Here's the 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a good moving fastball. And it's 3 up and 3 down. He has struck out 3. We played into the middle of the 3rd. Phillies nothing, Cubs nothing. Hear it from the veteran Friday mornings on WGN. Well, as we come back, Jody Davis just got a high chop in the infield that Schmidt had to wait for, come down, hurried his throw, didn't get him. And Jody is on with an infield hit. Jody now starting to get that bat going again. He's hit safely in 4 out of his last 5 games with that one. He's not going to get many infield hits, but he got that high chop and stayed up long enough for him to beat it out. Boa the batter, first pitch of ball.
I thought the shortstop could have made the play a little bit better than Smith.
Boa batting right-handed against the left-hander Koosman, looks to first base. Boa swings and a high pop up the first base line. Walkenfuss has a better look and calls off Virgil and makes the play. So Boa pops up to the first baseman, about 15 or 20 feet up the first base line. Steve Trout gets a nice hand as he steps in. Trout in his one start in which he beat the Phillies with his bat, he went 0 for 2. Throws left, bats left. Schmidt up in the grass at third. Jody with a short lead at first, right away to bunt. Bunts it right out in front of the plate, but bounces off foul before Virgil can get it and have a chance for any kind of a play. So it's foul, strike one.
Milo, while we have a few moments here, while Jody gets back to first, if you notice that the Cubs ground crew has changed the dirt portion of the mound compared to the other orange-type clay or dirt to the infield.
There's a bunt out in front of the plate. Catcher has to go get it. Throws to Samwell, who covers. That is a 2-4 sack, and it gets Davis to second base. That's the old gray dirt that used to be everywhere here.
Yes, that's true. And if you recall, earlier this year at home, at one time or another, Lee Smith had the ground crew go out and help a little bit with the mound. And I think another pitcher had them work on the mound a little bit.
All right, here is Bob Denier in the first inning. Hit a shot to the shortstop, and Jeltz threw him out. Bob Denier 0 for 1. Hit column even at 1 apiece. We're in the bottom of the third. Now, with a runner at second for the first time, Virgil and Koosman not set on what they're going to do for their indicator. So they're going to have a little chat about it. Bob Denier, the batter. Sandberg would be next. Cubs playing their 144th game of the year. After today, 18 left. 12 of those will be at Wrigley Field. All right, now everybody's ready. Left-hand pitcher, right-hand batter. Look to second. Davis with the lead. Here's the pitch. And a strike called above the knees on the inside corner. It had sprinkled ever so briefly about a half an hour ago. And there is rain in the forecast. Here's the pitch. A breaking ball just came inside, and it's 1-1. Denier's got that instep heavily guarded where he fouled it off the other day. Here's the 1-1 inside, but this is the time of the year when you say to the trainer, tape it up, and I'll be in there.
Absolutely. Got time to rest after clinching the playoffs or all winter.
2 balls and a strike. 2 outs, runner at second base. Jody takes his lead. Koosman stretches, looks back to second. Now from the belt, brings it to Denier. High a ball. 3-1. Sandberg would be next. And if you folks want to know what that number is up above the good kid's head in the booth, those who see the big new blue and white number, that's the magic number that Lou will change every day. There's the ball, and he walked him.
This is the first hitter that Koosman looked like he was very careful, trying to aim his pitches in a particular spot.
So now Virgil's going to go out and talk to him again. Ryan Sandberg, who struck out swinging in the first inning, and now Joe West, the plate umpire, going out, saying to Virgil, let's hurry it up. Virgil, much as is saying, hey, this is our livelihood. Now Koosman wants to talk to the shortstop, and he's going over to second, so he wants to make sure everybody knows who's going to do what here.
Yeah, they changed the sign, or changed the particular switch sign, so the shortstop and second baseman knows exactly what Koosman is going to pitch. Hopefully Koosman has the right sign all set in his mind.
Checks the runners, delivers to Sandberg, swinging, and a looping liner dropping in front of the shortstop as he catches it in his glove. He made a good quick move,
yes,
and that's the little shortstop that Lou was talking so highly about an inning ago. He's got some quickness, I want to tell you. So the soft liner that Jeltzy came on to get, and it's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, a walk, and 2 Cubs are left. We have played through 3. Phillies nothing, Cubs nothing. Hello again, everybody. Here's a bunt. Say, fumbles it for here.
Boy, he tried to hurry the play. He knew Hayes was moving as he pushed that ball down the third base line. But I thought he was playing shallow enough to take care of it without hurrying.
Yeah, he would have had him easily if he fumbled the ball. So Hayes leads off the fourth inning with what looked like originally a bad bunt, and it turned out to be a good one. Because Say, who seemed to have trouble getting his balance right off the bat, fumbled it. Well, I'm glad to walk into this booth at long last and find
Say hello to me, aren't you?
youth and intelligence.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Harry.
I'm referring to Jim Boudreau.
Oh, thank you, Harry.
Arizona State graduate. Here's a runner starting to go, but takes a strike. The batter Schmidt does, strike one. His school never gotten any scandals. Always start off with big football victories. When they get beat, they were picked as the #1 team.
Yeah.
In the conference, in the Pacific Coast Conference, got beat 41-3.
Well, at least they scored. He's been wearing a black band around his left arm since.
Well, that's there's always something that'll make you feel a little bit better, no matter how deep you are in gloom. How would you like to be Notre Dame?
Yeah.
20-point favorite over Purdue and get beat. There's a throw. Trout keeps him close.
Well, at least
Now, Hayes has stolen 41 bases. The guy ahead of him in the batting order, Samuel, has swiped 67.
not bad, is it?
That's a lot of speed. And here's a lot of punch right here. Mike Schmidt takes a fastball low. Schmidt, for the 10th consecutive year, has hit at least 30 home runs. He's second in the National League with 30. Here's the pitch. Strike call. 1-2 the count. Well, on this day, the final 3:05 starting time of the year, we don't have to worry about the ball coming out of the sunlight into the shadow. It's shadow everywhere today.
I'd like to see the sun shining.
Say the truth. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled it back. You want to talk about something unusual, take a look into the center field bleachers.
Yeah.
There are a lot of empty seats.
That'll tell you whether the sun is shining or not. That'd be the first time in about 3 or 4 months that we've had empty seats out there.
Empty seats in the grandstand, too, and they tell me that the word has been around town for a week that you couldn't get a seat for today's game. Now, I don't know how that stuff starts, whether it's something the Cubs inadvertently do to indicate that everything is sold out, or whether it's just somebody jumping at a conclusion. But it's unfortunate because it happens in every city. There goes the runner. High drive. Right field. Davy Lopes coming over. Near the wall. Makes the catch. Smith flies to Lopes. In the right field corner, Hayes returning to first base. Boy, that Lopes is a handy man to have around.
And how? He gives us a little right-handed hitting power on that bench, too, when he's not playing. And another veteran has been through the mill, knows what it is to be on a championship ball club.
Hey, Lou, is that right that young Jim was a shortstop and that you made him change the pitcher because you didn't want him to surpass your feet?
Well, he could surpass my feet, but not at shortstop, Larry.
One out, one on.
Talked him into being a southpaw.
That would have been something, a left-handed shortstop.
Yes, it would have.
Well, LaRussa had a left-handed third baseman.
Yes.
This year.
Very briefly.
Maybe not briefly enough. 1 out, 1 on. Walkenfuss, the hitter. The pitch. Strike call. Now, I did this specially for you fellows.
Yeah? What'd you buy it?
Walkenfuss spelled backwards. Sefnikow. Pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty good. Still doesn't beat the A-Rack.
Here's the pitch. Strike. No, a little bit low on outside.
I want you to describe his stance and how his feet are planted.
He's a pigeon-toed Stan Musial stance, only he's right-handed. There's a throw to first, the runner back. His front foot, he's got his toes curled around his right foot. And his left toe, therefore, is pointing right at the catcher. He shows his back to the pitcher. There goes the runner. They're going to get him. Oh, Boa dropped the ball, then he recovered it in time, I think.
Wait, did he overside? Huh?
Yeah.
The fine throw by Jody. Boy, and how?
They had him easily, but Hayes hit Boa. The ball was in Boa's glove just as he was being tagged. The ball popped in the air. Hayes slid off the bag, and Boa caught the ball and tagged him.
Very fortunately that the ball was right there for Boa to pick it up, and he looked like he blocked him off the bag with his body.
Whatever happened, it was good. Here now is Walkenfuss taking it inside. Ball 3. 2 men are out, nobody on. Top of the 4th. No score. A cloudy, dark day in Chicago. There's a strike call. Walkenfuss has good power. He used to be with the Tigers. When they traded him to the Phillies, he thought he was more assured of being with a pennant winner. Didn't work, ball 4 low. It didn't work out that way. The Tigers have all but clinched everything. And the Phillies are fighting to stay in 4th place. Here's Ossie Virgil. Be careful here. Here's a guy who's hurt the Cubs. Got 2 homers this year off of it.
More and more umbrellas coming out.
Here's a fastball swung on, bounce foul. And it's not to keep the hot rays of the sun off either.
Nope.
It's beginning to drizzle. Now the pitch. Low curve inside. Boy, the best thing that could happen here would be to get him out this inning, score about 4 in the bottom of the 4th, get a quick top of the 5th, and then let it pour.
Yep. Coming down harder.
Ground ball, that ought to be easy. Big pop. Save, throws for the 4th out. And there's no runs, no hits. 1 error, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th, no score. Woodley run, Vince White, Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. Here is Gary Matthews leading it off. First pitch, an off-speed pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Jerry Koosman at the age 40, a master of the art of pitching. Here's ball 2 low. And Tom Seaver down with the White Sox. Cut of the same cloth. The pitch wide, ball 3. They both were star pitchers together with the Mets, leading the Mets to 2 championships. Now the years have gone by, and they're still pitching well. 3 balls and a strike. The delivery. Line base hit in the right field. The Sarge singles to right. Hey, Jim, you as a pitcher, come here a minute. What do you see in Koosman that impresses you?
Well, you have to be impressed with the way he locates the ball, and he keeps the hitters off stride, and that's the basic job of pitching, and he does it quite well.
Is that the way you try to pitch?
That's the way I have to try and pitch. I'm not overpowering, so I have to do the same thing he's trying to do right there.
Well, he's a good guy to watch then.
Oh, yes.
Jim Boudreau sitting in the booth with us. Here's the runner going to pitch, slung line drive foul. Oh, too bad he couldn't straighten that one out.
Matthews running into the shortstop, rounding second base. He wasn't looking at anybody but Zimmer, wanting to go to third.
Well, if I were the shortstop, I think I would have sidestepped.
I know.
The Sarge.
Well, I think he was trying to fake the Sarge that the ball was hit on the ground.
0-1 the count. No score. Bottom of the 4th. Moreland the hitter. Now they throw over there, and the Sarge is back. Birthday greetings to Karen Noonan from Murphy's Bleachers Bar across the way. Ground ball back off the pitcher's pickup. Good play. Hey, he's a good-looking kid. Yeah.
Harry, earlier, when Milo was here, I mentioned I had several talks with, 6 or 8 of the Philadelphia Phillies early. And they say that kid reminds them more of Ozzie Smith than anybody else in the league. They said he's going to be a great fielding shortstop if he could just hit 250.
Boy, that's praise from Caesar when you say Ozzie Smith. All right, now here's Lopes and Sale have a chance at putting the Cubs ahead. Runner at second, one out. Now the delivery. And it's a little bit low. Every pitch he's thrown to Lopes so far has been off speed. Davey rolled out in the second. Now the pitch. Here it is. Swung on a curveball and he missed it. A ball and a strike. Bottom of the fourth. The Phillies here tomorrow also. The final game. So if something happens today, they'll have to play a doubleheader tomorrow. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the pitch. Inside. Let's pause quickly. This is a WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio, Chicago.
Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. Here's a slow curve, high ball, 3.
And Harry, one of those stations that came in for identification in Omaha, Council Bluffs, KLNG. And in Goshen, Indiana, WKAM Goshen.
3 balls and a strike. Now the delivery. Ball, Lee Walker. Here's Ron Say coming up. Second inning in a row that the Cubs have had 2 base runners. The umbrellas are out. The rain gear is out. Here's Say. Jody Davis on deck. Ron Say gets set. Cubs' magic number is 14. Slow curve high and outside. St. Louis plays in New York tonight. And the Redbirds have been playing well of late. Represent a worthy adversary to the Mets. Now the pitch. Strike, a good slider. Hard slider over the inside corner. A ball and a strike. Say with 89 RBIs. Only 11 from 100, the coveted number. The pitch. There's a smash right to Smith. Double play ball. Around the horn, that ball was hit like a bullet on one hop right at Mike Schmidt, who turned it over with Sam Well and walked him first.
Ball had to be hit right there at him, just 2 feet either right or left, and it's in left field.
So it's 5-4, 3 and out. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. At the end of 4, no score. Here we go into the top of the 5th. Glenn Wilson hits the first pitch right up the middle of base hit. First pitch right up the middle of base hit. Wilson singles to center. Here now is John Russell, the left fielder. A good-looking hitter, batting .328. Flied out to right his first time up. Ball game in the 5th. No score. Now the stretch, the throw to first, the runner back. A light drizzle falling. Now the pitch. A bouncing ball. Say might have a play. Nope, he throws the first. Took the sure out as he came charging in for Russell's high hopper. Here's the shortstop now, Steve Jeltz. Jeltz. 1 out, 1 on. From the booth, it looks as if it would be visibility 0. but it doesn't seem to be affecting the players. One on, one out. A man in scoring position. Steve Trout gets set. Low ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. Jerry Koosman on deck. 40-year-old veteran. Here's Trout getting ready. Bouncing ball. Look at a nice play by Sandberg. Will save a run. It'll be an infield hit and everybody is safe. And Wilson held at second base for fear of running into an out at third in the event Sandberg fielded it.
I think we got a break, Gary, with Wilson staying at second. As soon as that ball went over the pitcher's head, he should have broke for third. So we get a break now, and Koosman the hitter.
Well, let's see how they play it with Koosman. I would imagine they will bunt him along. Koosman hitting only 104. No homers, 3 runs batted in. He's had 7 hits in 67 times at bat. And he is fanned 1/3 of those times, 21. So runners at first and second. The pitch he's going to bunt. He does. The only play will be the first base. Sacrifice.
1-4, sacrifice.
And here's Samuel. With runners at second and third. 2 out. Juan Samuel. They're going to walk him intentionally to get to Hay. Boy, that's surprising, even though it's quite obviously what it is a left against left rather than against a left against right. Although Trout has handled Samuel easily. And a ground ball back to Trout and a strikeout. But he's dangerous. So the Phillies have the bases loaded with 2 outs. A moment of decision in this ball game right here.
Yes, indeed.
With the dangerous Von Hayes. Hitting .306 was particularly disturbing. He's hit so well against the Cubs. Fastball a bit low, ball 1. He's hit .355 against the Cubs, and 4 of his 14 home runs have been off the Cubs. The pitch is inside, ball 2.
This is what you have to be afraid of also, is the control of Trout in this situation.
2 balls, no strikes. Right down the middle of fastball at the belt. 2 balls and a strike. Von Hayes stands deep in the batter's box. Swung and he fouled tipped it.
Now go right after him right now. 2 strikes on him.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Base is jammed. 2 out. The delivery. Whoa! Just missed the outside corner. Boy, I think Von Hayes thought he was out.
Very close pitch. Too close to take, I'll tell you. But he took it and got by with it.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Now ready. Everybody, crowd thought they might be starting too soon, and he whirled around. Here's a big pitch. Might be the ball game right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Ground ball. Up the middle. 2 runs are in. 2-0 Phillies. Hayes singled up the middle. And so the Cubs are trailing. And here's Mike Schmidt.
West is getting it from the dugout on that 2-2 pitch.
Yeah. Must be getting it pretty good.
Yes, he is, and he's gone. It might be Zimmer. I don't know. I can't see, but I'm just...
Might be Billy Connors. I think it's Billy Connors.
Yeah, because Connors protecting his pitcher.
The 2-2 pitch to Hayes. It looked like Hayes himself thought it was strike three. Joe West, nobody came out to argue him or anything. He just kicked somebody out for whatever they said out of the dugout.
Here's Billy Connors. He's really angry.
Here's Mike Schmidt. He's 1 out of 2 today. Phillies have jumped out in front. Fouled it back and out of play. The Cubs decided to intentionally pass Sam Wells. Let's see now. Here's the runner, Hayes.
Well,
what in the world's he doing?
Well, the ball got away from Trout, but it's never in play until he catches that ball and goes back to within 2 or 3 feet of the pitching rubber. Hayes thought he was going to advance to second base.
Runners at first and third. Activity in the bullpen now. They throw to first. Mike Schmidt. Warren Brewster in the bullpen. Now the delivery. Almost hit him inside. A ball and a strike. Mike Schmidt hitting .278. Crowd quiet. He fouled it back to the screen. Schmidt has hit 62 home runs during his career against the Cubs. 40 of the 62 have been here at Wrigley Field. 1-2 the count. Now the delivery, here it is. A high fly ball. Davey Lopes coming in. Makes the catch to retire the side. 2 runs. 3 hits. No errors. 2 left. We move into the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Philadelphia. Here's Jody Davis to lead it off. Fouls off the first pitch and then takes ball 1 low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-0 Philly. Kuzman's 5th. Almost hit him. Low and inside. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Jody got an infield hit. His first time at bat. Larry Boa on deck. 2 balls and a strike to pitch. Bouncing ball. That'll be easy. Jolts his throw in time. Tim Stoddard has started to warm up in the bullpen. Jody had a funny swing at that ball. 1 out. Boa popped up his first time.
And before he steps in here, let's take a moment for this traffic update with John Camden. John?
Vince, right now, the northbound Kennedy running a 26-minute trip out to the junction, 45 out to O'Hare. Slow Van Buren to Green, Belmont to Edison, Lawrence to Nagel. The Ryan, a 35-minute trip out to 95th. Now back to the ball game.
A bouncing ball, foul down the third baseline. Larry Boa with a count even up now. The ball and the strike. 1 man out and nobody on. Bottom of the 5th. Cubs are trailing 2-0. Now the delivery. A little bit outside. 1 away. 2 balls and a strike. Trout on deck. There's a smash. Fair ball. Into the left field corner. Boa on his way to second base. With a stand-up double. Boa doubles to left. His 14th double of the year. There is no doubt how much harder he hits the ball right-handed than he does left-handed.
Jimmy Fry's going to try to get back into this ball game now. I think we're going to have a pinch hitter.
Let's see who the hitter's going to be. And Steve Trout, when being advised that he's going to be lifted for a pinch hitter, yells something at Joe West, the plate umpire. Probably about that 2-2 pitch to Hayes. And everybody thought was strike 3, only to have it called ball 3. And then on the 3-2 pitch, Hayes singled the center.
This might be the youngster Hatcher coming up. Right-handed hitter, played with Des Moines.
That's what it is.
You guys don't think that Kropp was asking Joe West if he'd mind going out to dinner with him tonight as his guest?
Hatcher hitting for Trout. It's also Hatcher's first Major League at bat.
All right, Billy Hatcher. An outfielder, a left fielder. The air in a couple of years to Gary Matthews. Same type of ball player. Good speed, good base runner. He'll be facing Jerry Kuzman. The crowd alive now. He's making his Major League debut. Came up from Iowa. Now the stretch by Kuzman. The pitch. Fastball. Strike call. Over the outside corner. Hatcher only 23 years old. Went to school in Prescott, Arizona, the same college that John Denny went to. Havapie Community College. There's a low tap on the ground. That'll be easy. Schmidt throws for the out. Hatcher batting for Trout. Roll to Schmidt. Here's Bobby Dernier. Would like to cut that lead in half. Dernier walked and rolled out. Jim, what kind of year did Hatcher have over there?
He had a good year over there. He's got good speed, too. I expected him to be up here a little earlier than they brought him up. He's got a quick bat, even though he's only about 5'9" or so, but he can hit the ball well.
All right, here's Dernier now. The stretch by Kuzman. Slow curve is high, ball 1. So Billy Hatcher made his Major League debut, but rolled out to Mike Schmidt. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 out. Kuzman delivers. Inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Kuzman, a 14-game winner. He's pitched 1 shutout this year. Now ready? The pitch. Held up in time, ball 3. 3 balls, no strike. Sandberg, who lined out with 2 on in the 3rd, waiting to come up next. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. His room had changed.
Now this is twice that he's worked that Dernier in that respect. Like he was careful with him to get to Sandberg, which is, he's going to get burnt sooner or later, so we might as well burn him now.
It really surprises me. I don't know another pitcher who's done that.
No.
Pitched around Dernier to get to Ryan. All right, let's see what happens. They got great speed representing the tying run at first base. Time is called, let's see, by first base umpire Frank Pulley.
Oh, he's talking to Owens about something. I really don't know what this is all about. Whether Owens complained or what. I don't know what he was complaining about. Wasn't the call, because the pitch was far outside in the high.
Maybe he's complaining about Kuzma making such a bad pitch. Here's Sandberg. The pitch. Low and inside, ball 1. The Sarge on deck. 2 men out, 2 men on. Ball game in the 5th. 2-0 Phillies. The pitch. Outside, ball 2. He turned it over. slide screwball to the right-hand hitter with good success. 2 balls, no strikes. Sandberg waiting. The delivery. Bouncing ball, but the shortstop steps on second. Hit the ball sharply again, but Jeltz, running to his left, fielded the ball on a high hop, kept running and tagged the bag, forcing Dernier. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. Twice he has gotten Sandberg to make the final out with 2 on. At the end of 5, it remains 2-0 Phillies. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. We go into the top of the 6th. John Walkenfuss will lead it off. 2-0 the Phillies are leading. Tim Stoddard, the new pitcher, Lou.
We'll get to his record in just a minute, Harry.
There's a breaking ball outside, ball 1.
Stoddard has won 8, lost 5, 3.48 earned run average. This is his 52nd appearance. He has 7 saves to his credit.
Here's a strike called over the outside corner. Evens it up. A ball and a strike. Nobody on and nobody out. Dark, rainy day in Chicago. Here's a slider high. 2 balls and a strike. It's the only afternoon game in the major leagues. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 3. Tim Stoddard in relief. Three balls and a strike. Now the pitch. Way outside, he walked it. Steve Trout worked the first 5 innings. He allowed 2 walks, one of them intentionally. 4 hits and 2 runs. Struck out 3. So he pitched a creditable ball game but had to leave with his team trailing. Here now is Ossie Virgil. The pitch on the way. Strike call. Slider over the outside corner to Need. Runner at first base, nobody out. 0-1 the count. He started his swing, he held up. They say he went around on the appeal. Virgil don't believe it. He's talking to Joe West. Joe West says, hey, the first base umpire said you went around.
He's arguing with the wrong man, isn't he?
Yeah. Raining harder down, the fans scurry for cover. 0-2 the count. Now the pitch. High. Stoddard. Runs into control problems now and then. 1-2 the count. The delivery. Popped it up foul. Will it be catchable near the stands? Jody, no play. 1-2 the count. We're in the 6th. 2-0 Philly. Final game between these 2 clubs tomorrow. Then Montreal will come in Wednesday and Thursday. The pitch. Low, ball 2. And then the weekend, the New York Mets. Two balls, 2 strikes. The delivery. Bouncing ball is going to be a double play. Sandberg steps on second, throws to first for the double play. Virgil busted his bat as they hit a high hopper right near second base to Sandberg. 128th double play of the year for the Cubs. 2 men are out. Here's Glenn Wilson, who started the 2-run inning off with a single in the 5th. Now the pitch, here it is. Held up on a breaking ball.
Well, Harry and Lou, about 3 weeks ago, I have to admit, this team, Philadelphia, was the ball club I thought coming in here now, and in their ballpark last week would be the team we'd have to be beating out rather than the Mets.
Here's a pitch swung on, ground ball. Larry Bowa's got it. He throws.
Ooh.
And in time, as Moreland backhanded a low throw, kept his toe on the bag long enough. I think everybody agreed with you, Vince.
Yeah, I do too.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 Philadelphia. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's called time now to get some dry sand out. I think Jerry Kuzman complained about the slippery footing.
But Harry, with your show with Jimmy Fry earlier, this is what Fry was hoping that the Cubs would eliminate, and that's the lack of runs and the lack of hitting, which has plagued us during the road trip, even though we had a very good road trip.
Yeah. Pitching's what's done and not hitting.
Yes. So let's see if we can turn things around.
Here's Matthews. He's one of the few men who has hit consistently this final month. He singled to right his last time at bat. Mounts out his first time. Swings and he fouls it out of play. 1 strike to nothing. A dreary day in Chicago. 0-1 the count. There's a line drive right to the second base. Matthews lined to Samuel. 1 gone. Cubs have had one of those kind of days. Whenever they hit the ball hard, it's right at them. Here's Moreland. Nothing out of 2. The pitch. Curveball low. We're in the bottom of the 6th, 2-0. The Phillies are leading. Ball is low. In each of the last 2 innings, the Cubs had 2 men on base. They couldn't score. Now the pitch. Strike at the knees. 2 balls and a strike. 1 out. Nobody on. The delivery. Ball wide. Ball 3. Davey Lopes will be up next. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch. He checked his swing in time. Whoa! The first base umpire Pulley on the appeal says he went around.
I think he did, and so does Moreland think so. He didn't say a word. Turned right around and came back. Wanted to get that bat.
He was about 5 steps down the line towards first when Pulley was appealed to. 3-2 now. Here's the pitch. A strike, straight ball. Again, he started for first.
We thought that ball was outside. Yeah. Harry, you remember the good old days? I know you do, and Vince does too. When a pitcher does this to you for 5 or 6 innings, everybody on the bench, after coming back from striking out or flying out, are going, "Go warm up, you so-and-so. Can't throw the ball hard enough to break a pane of glass."
Here's the first pitch to Lopes. He swings and he misses.
One man I remember is Eddie Lopat.
Yeah.
Yet he'd beat you every time out there.
How about Whitey Ford?
You know, Whitey? Well, Whitey was a little faster. Threw more fastballs than Eddie. 2 great pitchers.
Yeah, really.
Sure were.
Now the pitch. Slow curve outside. That evens the count. A ball and a strike. 2 men are out.
I'm just surprised that none of the Cubs have pushed the ball or bunted that ball today.
The pitch. Goes all the way back to the screen. 2 balls and a strike. Ron Say on deck.
Well, he threw that one about 59 feet, didn't he?
Davy Lopes, a big 12 on the back of his uniform. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. A bouncing ball foul.
You know, gentlemen, it's tough to say that he's thrown a lot of pitches. He should be getting tired, but if you throw that stuff up there, your arm isn't tired. It's got to be his age coming first. Then the arm getting tired.
Tommy has shut him out. That's all you can do.
That's the name of the game, isn't it?
Bob Feller couldn't have done more than that.
Remember several years ago we had a chance to get Koosman? Yes. Several clubs had a chance.
He's still a good pitcher.
Sure is.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's a very classy individual, too.
Yes. Now the delivery. Off speed, low and outside, ball 3. He flirted with ball 4 twice to Moreland.
Well, I'd like to see the Cubs get, say, up there as a tying run right here in this inning.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Davy Lopes digging in. Line drive right for the shortstop.
How about that?
That's the kind of day it's been. Again, the line drive directly at Jones. And it's 1, 2, 3. Nothing across. Milo will be rejoining Vince and Lou in a moment. This is Harry Carey at Wrigley Field on a rainy day where the Phillies are out in front 2-0.
7th inning, John Russell is in facing Stoddard. As we come back, it's ball 1 and no strikes. Stoddard delivers, swinging a foul back, 1-1. Milo Hamilton back with you on the radio side, along with the good kid himself, Lou Boudreau, the proud possessor of the magic numbers in our booth.
Yes, sir.
And Vince Lloyd. Oh, there goes the expense account.
Yep.
Off speed in there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
That looks like it must have cost you about $175 to have that made. Let me tell you, you're just about right. 178 to be all right.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a pop for Sandberg. Shallow right, about 15 feet into the grass. And Russell is out. He didn't have a good swing. And he's popped up to Sandberg, and it'll bring up Steve Jeltz, the shortstop. He had a base hit in the 5th inning and scored their 2nd run.
I'll let you know tomorrow for my True Value hardware man in Dalton, Illinois.
There is a strike. He showed bunt and took it. Well, I'm glad you knew to go to the right place. True Value. I'd like to have True Value have to spend $100 before this day is over for Cubs Care. That's a ball, and it's 1-1.
I think they would gladly spend a few hundred. Yeah. In today's game.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ball game in the 7th. And that's too tight on the letters, and it's 2-1. Stoddard in relief of Trout, who worked the first 5 and gave up the 2 runs. Here's the 2-1 on the way. Shows bunt again, and it's in there, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Billy Connors couldn't contain himself after he thought Joe West had missed strike 3, and then the next pitch went up the middle. And got thrown out for his trouble. There's a foul, upper deck up to the right, still 2-2.
Nobody on that bench or in that dugout protects the pitchers like Connors.
That's a ball low outside, and what a job he has done with his pitching staff, and has ever since he got here.
Yeah, just tremendous.
Well, Lucius Parrott down in St. Pete would have been proud of him today. There's a bouncer. Sandberg has to go to his right. Fire in a hurry. Fast man running, and he got him. Sandberg, Mr. Velvet.
Yes, indeed. If there ever was a golden glove man at that position, it's Sandberg.
Boy, that Jeltz can fly down the line,
yes,
can't he?
Yes, he can.
Oh, they're in love with him. Gary Koosman is struck out swinging and sacrificed. Pitch down low, a ball. One ball, no strikes. Koosman throws left, that's right, and takes a strike.
Let's take a moment here, Milo, for a traffic update. Let's join John Camden at Midway. John?
to Kennedy running slow. Van Buren to Green, Diversey to Edison, and Lawrence to Nagel. 24 minutes to the junction, 42 to O'Hare. Stevenson slow, Wentworth to Kedzie with a 30-minute trip to Harlem. Now back to the ball game.
A 1-2 count to Koosman. Nobody on in front of him and 2 away. 7th inning. Stoddard working in relief. Pitch on the way. Just a little inside. Boy, I thought he was going to thumb him out of it.
Yeah. I called him out.
I noticed your thumb went up. Oh, you were pointing to Bob Kubicki, one of our account executives. Foul down the right side. We brought Bill Albers and Dale Aiden from Glenmark Meats out today. And good kid keeps looking around for the samples.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Good to have you with us. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stoddard fires. There's a swing and a foul down the left side to Davy Bristol, the third base coach. Regular game time tomorrow. 1:20 first pitch. Will be on at 12:55 with the Jim Pryce Show. Here's another 2-2 to Koosman. Swings and pops it. Right field. Lopes says, I've got it. Davy's there. 3 up, 3 down for Stoddard. Now the Cub bats have some work to do. Bottom of the 7th. Big crowd ready for a 7th inning stretch. Ready to hoot and holler to try to get the Cub bats going. After 6.5 at Philadelphia 2, the Cubs nothing. All right, now they've got to do some repair work around the batter's box. They had done it the inning before on the mound. It has rained enough to make it a little treacherous, good kid, and they've got to work on it.
Yes, indeed, and there's treacherous fielding, too. That's why I mentioned last inning, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cubs started to punt a little bit on Koosman to get on base, even to start the inning off.
With the 2-run lead and going to the 7th, Paul Owens has changed first baseman. He's gone to a man who plays there a lot, and that's Matusik, and Walkenfuss has left the game. Say will be the leadoff hitter as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Frazier has started to throw in the bullpen because our pitcher is due up 4th in the inning, and the Cubs need some traffic. Ron Say is 0 for 2. Pop to the shortstop, and he is hit into a double play. You know, one of our great and longtime sponsors on Cubs radio, the folks at Tallman Home, their Peoria manager, Sharon, married Don Kozlerich last Saturday, and they're spending part of their honeymoon right here today watching the Cubs. So congratulations to Sharon and Dan Kozlerich of Peoria. Say taking a little time before he gets back up in there. Now he's ready. Koosman has gone all the way, and he's got a 2-0 lead as he pitches in the 7th inning. Left-hander delivers. Swinging. High fly ball. Will not carry. Center fielder Hayes backs up about 5 steps, and he makes a play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Milo, according to my score sheet, and sometimes you can't believe it, that's the first fly ball of the game off of Koosman.
I wouldn't even look at my card. If the good kid says it, what are you checking your card for, Benny?
Well, a pop-up, of course.
He always likes me to verify, and you're right once again, good
Well,
kid.
that's the first time this year. Thank you.
Jody Davis had an infield hit, a high chopper in the 3rd, and the 5th inning bounced out, and a high pitch is ball 1.
I just made that statement. Now we're getting to him. We're hitting the ball in the air.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Boy, Koosman changes the speeds,
Just beautiful.
changes locations, gives you a little of this and a little of that. Then just when you think he hadn't got the fastball anymore, he zips one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Off speed, 2-1.
I was going to say he's an artist out there, but I'd say he's a Michelangelo out there today.
Yes, he is.
Well, now I know why you didn't say he was an artist.
right.
Those piano players are all good, too. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's what you call pitching, not throwing.
2-2. The 2-run inning in the 5th, holding up for Koosman so far. Down low in the dirt at Virgil's feet, and it's a full count to Jody.
He's had the full count on many Cub hitters today.
And the payoff to Jody Davis. Swing and a foul way up to the right in the upper deck.
He never seems to throw 2 pitches in a row in the same location or the same kind of pitch, same speed.
Phillies have 2 runs on 4 hits. The Cubs are scoreless with 3 hits. That's the kind of a game it's been. Ball 4. Jody's on to start the inning. After 1 out, and it'll be the 4th walk issued by Koosman. He has struck out 2, and Boa has 1 of the 3 hits. It was a 1-out double in the 5th inning. Gary Woods has moved on deck. Stoddard's been called back. That's a strike. So Gary Woods will be the pinch hitter, and he's due up next. So Frazier continues to throw hard in the bullpen. Johnny Oates is back in the bullpen today. You know, he'd been gone for a few days with the passing of his father. Hey! Into right center field, a base hit. Jody with the play in front of him realizes that second is as far as he can go. Boa has his 2nd straight hit. The hit column is even at 4 apiece. Now Woods announced as the pinch hitter for Stoddard. 4 hits for the Cubs, and Boa has half of them. The Philly bullpen starts to work, and it's Anderson. Gary Woods, the pinch hitter, but before that takes place, Schmidt and Koosman going to have a little conference.
I think he's stalling for time. He must have had a little conversation with their own bench, pitching coach, and Owen, the manager.
All right, Jody Davis at second, Larry Boas at first. Tying runs are aboard. Now Schmidt walks back to third, and then Koosman gets down to get the mud out of his spikes, and now Woods comes back to the on-deck circle. He wants to work on that bat handle again. No, he wants to put the leaded donut on. He's not loose enough yet. $31,664 in the house. Of those, $26,083 paid.
Well, this is the first. Doug Harvey has called time so the ground crew can go out and fix the mound in the bullpen for the Phillies. Koosman taking about 2 or 3 minutes getting the mud from his spikes.
Well, they've gone down to repair it for Larry Anderson in the right field bullpen. All right, we're ready for action again on the diamond. 2 on, 1 out. Gary Woods, the pinch hitter. Woods ready to work. Swinging that bat across the plate. Koosman ready to work on the other end. First pitch to Gary Woods. A strike call right under the letters on the inside corner. George Frazier has completed his warm-up tosses. He's walking down toward the dugout on the third base side. Woods waiting. Here's the pitch. Way high with a fastball. 1-1. Haven't had many opportunities. You need to cash in here, Lou.
Yes. This is the only second opportunity we've had against Koosman.
1 ball, 1 strike. Koosman looks in, gets the sign from Ozzie Virgil. Checks runners at first and second with 1 down. Here's the pitch. Swing and a fly ball down the right side. Could drop and does. The bases will be loaded. Nobody could score on it because you didn't dare take a chance on maybe one of those 3. First baseman Matusik, second baseman Sam Well, and right fielder Wilson getting to that ball. Then you'd have really been out of your threat. But the bases are loaded. A Texas League single to right off the bat of Gary Woods.
Now this is something that the crowd has been waiting for. They're standing up, cheering the Cubs on. This has to be the inning right here.
That's the first good break we've had here today. And he's going to have to pitch now to Bobby Dernier, who he has avoided earlier. And Koosman going to work on his spikes again. And Doug Harvey, the crew chief, wants the ground crew to come and repair the mound in the center of the diamond again. It's rained about 3 or 4 times today. Never bad enough to stop the action, but accumulating enough now to where the skinned-off parts are becoming a little treacherous.
Yes, true.
We've had a 16th of an inch so far, haven't we, Lou?
That's about all, man. We've hit 4 or 5 line drives to the infielders, and that one was a very nice gifted hit by Wood.
So the top of the order is due up with a man on every base for the Cubs, trailing 2-0. Young man down here below us with a radio, Lou, and he's looking up to see the magic number. He'd like to have it changed today.
Well, I would too, so it's going to be up to Denier. Now or Sandberg or Matthew.
Be nice to come out tomorrow and see it at 12.
Wouldn't that be nice?
All right, everything seems to be in order. And Koosman once again will try to find that spot where he's been coming down with his follow-through before he throws a pitch. All right, the bases are loaded for Bobby Denier, and the crowd into it now.
Bob Denier grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning, walked in the third, walked in the fifth. So Bobby'd like to get into that hit column right here. Jody Davis at third. Larry Boas at second. Pinch hitter Woods at first. There was a walk, a single, and another single to load him up in the Chicago seventh. The stretch by Koosman. Pitch to Denier. Low inside, a ball. Sandberg due up next, but right now Bobby Denier trying to do a job. Koosman stretches. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A ball and a strike. Twisted one right and around his hands, and it's even now at a ball and a strike. Moving up toward 5 o'clock in the Chicago area. And the Cubs with a chance to get back in it. With a walk and 2 hits, they have loaded the bases. There's only one away. And a 1-1 count to Bob Denier, and here it comes. Oh, he went after a bad pitch. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just couldn't hold up, could he?
No, he could. Awfully good pitch by Koosman.
1 and 2. So instead of being ahead in the count by going after it, he's behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Base hit could tie it here. Phillies lead 2-0. The 31,000 trying to rev it up for Denier. Here's the pitch. Swinging. A long foul down the left side. It was foul the minute it left the trademark.
Yeah, it was practically the same pitch, only a little higher than the pitch before that Denier missed.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
What's your guess on what he'll throw him now? He'll throw him a breaking pitch, trying to make him hit the ball in the ground to one of his infielders. Virgil went to another pitch, and Koosman didn't like it.
He wants to talk to him about it. They want to get set on what they're going to throw here. Koosman has pitched into the 7th inning. He's led 2-0 since the 5th inning.
Now, Koosman is a smart pitcher. He has 1 pitch to work on here. This is what we mean when a pitcher has the advantage of ball 1 and strike 2. He has 1 pitch to set up the 2-2 pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Now everybody back in place.
Now he wants Denier to go after a bad pitch.
A Cub on every base. Bob Denier waiting on a 1-2 with 1 away. Here it comes. Smash foul into the Cub dugout and out again. I hope they all got out of the way, boy. That was in there in a hurry.
I thought he made a mistake with that pitch.
Yeah.
He was right over the center of the plate, but Denier was so anxious, he was out in front of it.
All right, 1 and 2. The count remains. Denier right in the middle of that batter's box. Koosman waiting. Now he stretches. Hesitates at the belt. Here's the pitch. Low outside. Looked like he turned that ball over.
Yeah, looked like a screwball. He just led up with it and made sure that the ball was outside. That's the one he set him up with. This is the big pitch right here. I would guess a slider, a breaking pitch right here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Denier with a chance to deliver. Koosman delivers to him. Low inside. He laid off of that pitch this
He
time.
laid off of the slider, low and inside. And that was the pitch Koosman wanted him to go after.
All right, now. The crowd up.
Look at that.
They're cheering for ball 4. They're cheering for a hit. They're cheering for the Cubs to get on the board. Here comes the payoff. Ball 4. He walked in a run.
Third straight time he's walked Denier.
An RBI for Bobby Denier, and the Cubs are halfway back. Jody Davis stepped on the pay station with the Cub run.
chance. Paul Owens is on his way to the mound.
Well, the way Sandberg has been hitting Koosman, I'm glad to see this move because Sandberg will hit a right-handed pitcher just as well as anybody else.
So they're going to make the change. 5 walks issued by Koosman, and Denier has 3 of them, and that was the biggest. He gets an RBI the easy way. A pitching change at Wrigley Field. We'll be back to talk about Larry Anderson right after this message. All right, good kid.
Anderson has won 3, lost 3. Great earned run average of 1.89. This is his 58th game. He has 4 saves for the Phillies. He's pitched 85 and 2/3 innings, allowed 78 hits. Only 18 earned runs have been scored against him. 4 home runs have been hit against Anderson. He's walked 21, but he has struck out 48.
All right, getting in those warm-up tosses, he'll be looking at Ryan, Sandberg, and then it'll be Matthews. Those stations that came in a moment ago, one of them was in Carbondale, Illinois, WCIL in Carbondale. Another exciting Cubs game for you here on Cubs Radio. Milo Hamilton with Lou Boudreau and Vince Lloyd. And here comes Sandberg. The bases are loaded. There's only one away. A fly ball with any depth could tie it. A base hit could give you the lead. And the way the sky is going and darkness settling in, I'd prefer the latter.
Yes, definitely.
Sandberg 0 for 3. Struck out, lined out, and hit into a force play. Lee Smith is throwing in the Cub bullpen. Tug McGraw throwing in the Philly bullpen. It's a 1-run game. The stretch. The pitch to Sandberg. Swinging and fouling it up to the right side. Boy, he went up there ready.
And it's very slippery in that batter's box. If you notice, Sandberg did slip when he tried to swing at that outside pitch.
So it's strike 1 to Rhino. Phillies are leading 2-1, but a major threat by the Cubs here. Sandberg waiting. The pitch by Anderson. Swinging a smash deep short. Throws to second. 1. First base. No. Threw the ball away. 2 runs are in. Yes. They could not make the double play. They forced Denier, but Denier put a roll on the man at second. He threw the ball away, and the Cubs have gone in front.
That was a typical Samuel throw. He tried to whip that ball to first base. Missed first base entirely, and that enabled the winning or the lead run to score.
So it'll be a fielder's choice, an E4, an RBI for Sandberg, and the go-ahead run scores on the error. 3-2 Cubs. Matthews the batter. A 3-run inning, and it's not over yet. Matthews is 1 for 3, had a base hit in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. Swinging, and he hit him on the fist and popped it off to the right side. Matusik over. Will it come back for him? Nope. Back about 3 rows. So Matthews will get another swing. Remember, Sandberg does get an RBI driving in the 2nd run. You cannot presuppose a double play. Then the throwing error gets the go-ahead run in, and it is 3-2 Cubs.
Execution is the name of the game. When you lack that execution, you're in trouble.
Well, when Samuel batted earlier today, I said he can help them offensively, but he hurts them defensively, and he's done it again. Here's the pitch. Swinging. Line drive center, but it's right at Hayes. The side is retired, but the Cubs have an inning. And listen to this crowd. And so with the 3-run inning at the end of 7, it's the Chicago Cubs 3 and the Philadelphia Phillies 2. Chicago Cubs. Lee Smith is the new pitcher. Put him in the 3 spot. Matthews has left the game. Woods, who got the pinch hit single that helped out in the inning and scored the go-ahead run, stays in the game to play left field.
For Smith, His record is 9 victories, 5 defeats, a 3.38 earned run average. This is his 61st appearance. He has 30 saves for the Cubs. He's pitched 88 innings, allowed 81 hits and 33 runs. He's walked 30 while striking out 71.
Against the Philadelphia Phillies, he's appearing for the 7th time this year. 1 win, 1 loss, and has saved 3 saves against the Phillies this year. This is Samuel. First pitch swung on. High fly ball left center. Woods back. Short of the track. He's got a play right there in front of the wagon gate, and it's one away. Samuel put a charge in one. That little guy's got some pop. He's hit 3 home runs against the Cubs this year.
Yeah, offensively, he has everything going for him. Good wrist, good power, and he can run.
So Samuel goes after the first pitch from Smitty, flies out to deep left center to Woods. And here is Von Hayes, who drove in the 2 Philly runs with the bases loaded and a single up the middle in the 5th inning. First pitch to him is a ball. Von Hayes has 13 runs batted in against the Cubs this year. That's the most on the Philly club. Schmidt right behind him with a dozen. 1 ball, no strikes. Smith delivers, and a strike called over the outside corner. 1-1. Mike Schmidt is due up next. 1 away in the 8th. The Cubs have taken the lead for the first time. They're out in front 3-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul. Right off to the right of the batter's box, and it's 1-2. Oh, this big guy has come so far this year after getting healthy. Tried to play through some injuries and some pressure of the trade last year. This year, good-looking ball player. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind, and now the pitch. Strike 3 called, a buzz bomb over the outside corner.
Didn't see that one at all, did he?
Well, you talk about popping some leather. Lee Smith gave him a Bayou bullet right there.
With the noise of the crowd, he may not have even heard it.
Only thing evident was the vapor trail.
And he knew where to go, though.
Right back to the bench.
Right back to the bench.
Here is Mike Schmidt, who has been a nemesis for Lee Smith. Represents the tying run as he steps in. Today he's had a single. That was in the 1st inning. Next 2 trips he flied out to right field. Here's the pitch. Fastball strike across the letters. No balls, 1 strike. Schmidt the batter. Nobody on in front of him, 2 down. Matusik is on deck. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Gave him a little different look right there, Lou.
Smith is tough enough to hit with the sun shining brightly. It's twilight now, overcast here in Chicago, and he should be very difficult to hit.
Out in front of Mike Schmidt, 0-2. Inning number 8. Right-hand power hitter waiting. And a right-hand power pitcher ready to deliver, but he took a little too much time. Schmidt's going to step out on him. No balls, 2 strikes. A 3-run 7th has the Cubs in front by a run. Now they're both ready. Smith nods agreement. The big right-hander kicks and fires. Oh, just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, that looked like a good pitch. Yes, it did. It was high, let her high. I was glad that Smith let it go.
1-2. Sign given by Jody Davis. The right-hand reliever ready. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Struck him out on a low fastball. So Smitty gets him 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. And a crowd that didn't have a lot to cheer about early is really mixed up in this one now. In the middle of the 8th inning, Cubs 3, Phillies 2. Coleman home has added a into the bottom of the 8th. Keith Moreland 0 for 3 today. Came in with a 5-game hitting streak. Cubs looking for a little daylight in this one. They're leading 3-2. Moreland, and then it'll be Durham. Moreland then would go to play right field in the 9th, and the Bull would be in at first base. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball a little high from Anderson. Kuzman worked 6 and a third. A throwing error by Samuel, and when they missed the double play, enabled the Cubs to go in front. Here's the pitch. Down a little low, 2-0.
You have to feel sorry for Koosman. The day's work that he did and a very fine job of pitching against the Cubs. And conditions were such that he just couldn't have good control all day.
Here's the 2-0. Swing, and a miss. 2-1 to Moreland. Bull Durham on deck. Then it'll be Ron Say. Moreland stepping out of there. It is treacherous up in that batter's box right now. No rain right now, is there, good kid?
No. And it's even getting brighter when that score changed.
Oh, I got to get some of those glasses you're using. There's a foul into the backstop.
Get a couple more runs, and I'll spread them around.
I think you're right. It has gotten lighter. Oh, it's that glow coming from the back of the booth.
Oh, is that what it is?
From young Jim.
Hey, he's happy for the Cubs, too.
I thought we'd have a chance to see him at the old ball yard today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Started after a breaking pitch, laid off in time, and it's 3-2. Full count to Moreland. Anderson always stretches. A lot of the relievers are doing that now. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out.
Come right back with a good breaking pitch, 3-2. That's the difference of a fair relief pitcher and a very good relief pitcher.
Here's Leon Durham. Durham will bat for Lopes.
Now, let me tell you about Durham. He was nervous as a cat before this ball game because he wasn't in that lineup. He wants to play, and he wants to play every day.
All right, he's up here now. Against the Phillies, he has not hit that well average-wise, but how deceiving that is. And I'll tell you how in just a moment. Here's the pitch to him. Way inside a ball. For instance, he's only hitting 182 against Philadelphia, but he's driven in 10 runs against them. So the hits that he's had have been big ones.
Big hits, important hit.
That's a ball. Some people say, you know, Lou, you've heard it when we've been interviewed about different things about the broadcast, and you've sat in here and somebody said, well, why do you keep all those stats? Well, that's one of the reasons. Once in a while you find one that really points up how deceiving figures can be. If you said he was hitting 182 against him, you'd say, hey, they've really had his number. Well, they've had his number, but he's had theirs when it meant something.
That's right.
A ball, and he walked him on 4 pitches.
And you have the best pile of stats of anybody that I know. I've been in this ball game for a long, long time.
Thank you, good kid. Appreciate it.
Yes, that's correct.
6 walks now, and here is Ron Say. The Penguin is 0 for 3. Popped to short, hit into a double play, and flied out to center. Anderson taking a look around. Durham at first base. Durham has a short lead. Anderson checks him. The pitch to Say. Low inside a ball. Jody Davis due up next. Koosman walked 2 in that 7th. He walked 5 altogether. 3 of them to Denier. 1 ball, no strikes. Say waiting the pitch. Swinging at a high fly ball, shallow left. Shortstop out, angling over toward the bullpen. And he is there. A little past the home plate area is in the bullpens. Jeltz makes the play. Say is out, and it'll bring up Jody Davis.
You know, I may be an inning late in making a comment about Sandberg's hot ground ball that was to the right of Jeltz, but he made quite a play in attempting to start the double play. He backhanded the ball and gave Samuel a perfect throw.
He has shown us that he can pick it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Jody Davis had a walk after 1 out to start that 7th run rally, and a strike right across the knee. They're here from all over to see this Cub team. Here's the pitch. Jody fouls it way up to the right. Joe Sobchak from the Dallas Times-Herald. He wanted to see what a Hall of Famer looked like, so they brought him over to the booth, and there he is, Lou Boudreau. No balls, 2 strikes.
There'll soon be another Boudreau in Dallas, making his home in Dallas.
That's right. Lou Jr. going to move to Dallas. That's a ball low outside.
Have him go to the Boudreaux Jewelry Store while he's there. Good. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with an invitation, I could visit Dallas, too.
1-2. Foul back into the backstop. It holds at 1-2. I think we're going to be all right with the weather now, Vinny.
Yeah. Cleared up pretty nice. Yeah, I told you it would. About the 8th inning? What inning are we in? 8th inning? Yeah, listen to this, Vince. He's got something now.
Yes.
His wheels are really working. I can tell when my chair starts moving. Milo's wheels are really working.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson stretches, looks to first, delivers to Davis. A little tapper. Pitcher will come off the mound, grab it, touch Jody as he goes by, and the side has been retired. Pitcher unassisted. No runs and no hits. No errors, a walk, 1 left. We will go to the 9th with a chance to take one of the numbers off the magic number that Lou has put up at the top of the booth. We'll go to the 9th, need to hold them Cubs. Cubs lead the Phillies 3-2. Changes for the Cubs as we go to the 9th. As we said, Durham would stay in the game and play first. Moreland moves from first base to left field. Boy, I've heard of some ways to plug your scoreboard, Vinny.
Yes.
But that Rusty Jones over the left field wall in that apartment house, that's really carrying it to extremes.
Looks like a Paul Bunyan-esque character up there, doesn't he, on that roof?
Yeah, but it's really Rusty Jones.
Yes, it is. He's tuned in, too, to 720 on the dial.
I see him over there. Here's the pitch to Matusik, high outside the ball. You seeing all right up there, guys? Oh, sure they are.
Somebody just waved.
Swing and a miss. Oh, they're making Rusty Jones wave at you, Vinny. Oh, you better have a good job on that scoreboard today.
Well, George, doesn't he look good?
1 ball, 1 strike. Matusik against the Cubs has hit 2 homers. One of them was a pinch homer that won a game outside the ball. Matusik is a .235 hitter against the Cubs. 8 for 34 with 3 runs batted in. Leading it off in the 9th, his first appearance at the plate today. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Remember, after the game, the scoreboard, and then in Chicago, Uncle Bobby Collins will have some time coming with you. And it's a Monday, you can talk about anything. Fly ball, right field, trouble. It will drop. Moreland comes on to get it on the roll, and Matusik with a broken bat single to right. That starts the 9th, tying runner aboard with nobody out.
And before our next hitter steps in, for those in Chicago want an update on traffic, we'll go to Midway and John Camden.
Vince, the Kennedy running slow, Van Buren to Green, Western to Edison, 24 minutes to the junction, 39 to O'Hare, Stevenson 35 minutes to Harlem, 44 to the Tri-State, slow state to Kedzie, Cicero out to Austin. Now back to the ballgame.
Used when I had a bone bruise in my left hand and would continue to play shortstop, such as sometimes the catchers use that same type of a glove for protection, especially when you get a fellow like Bob Feller pitching or Lee Smith pitching.
Well, I don't know if they'd have time today, good kid. Bobby's only going to have about 45 minutes.
Oh. Well, he can jot that down, Steph.
Yeah, Steffi will handle that. She can put that on the production list. Virgil the batter, 1-0 from Lee Smith. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Matusik first, nobody out. Phillies batting in the 9th. They led 2-0 from the 5th until the 7th. The Cubs put a 3 up there to go in front. Stretch pitch on the way. Swinging, lined out into left center. That will be caught on the run as Woods reaches up and grabs it. Gary Woods ran right to the spot, and Bobby Lanier gives him a slap and says, nice going.
Great defensive play by Woods. I think only he and Cotto could have caught up with that ball, but he got a great jump on that line drive. I looked for a double as soon as it left the batter's bat. There's a guy sitting down here today in the stands with his wife who'll say, hey, I could have put that in my pocket easily. Yes, the same guy that prevented a Cardinal hitter from breaking up a no-hit bid here.
Moose.
Yep, Moose Morin.
Yeah. Oliver will be the pinch hitter.
I'll tell you about Moose. He could come in good. I don't know about going to his left or right.
All right, now with a runner on, you're going to get the pinch hitter Oliver, and you're also going to get a pinch runner at first, and that's Jeff Stone, an outfielder who can flat out fly.
Stone will run for Matusik. Oliver will bat for Wilson. Oliver, the veteran who played against us in the 2 games at Philly last week, did not start today as Trout started for the Cubs. Oliver for the year against the Cubs is batting .294, 10 for 34 with 4 runs batted in. He's a .301 hitter for the year combined with the Giants and the Phillies. No homers, 45 runs batted in. Big Lee Smith with a speedster Stone at first base and 1 out. We're in the 9th inning. Cubs lead 3-2. Big lead for Stone. Stretch pitch on the way to Oliver. Strike called over the outside corner. What do you think, Lou? Will Stone try to steal?
I think he waits for about the 3rd pitch. He wants to get the movement of Lee Smith to the plate.
But boy, what a big lead he has right now. A tremendous lead. Not going. And a ball low inside, and it's 1-1.
Usually a manager will give his hitter, a hitter like Oliver, 1 good swing, hoping for an extra base hit.
A ball and a strike. Matusik started it with a broken bat pop single down the right side. He's been lifted for the pinch runner Stone. There's 1 away. Oliver waiting on a 1-1. Runner going. Throw down will be late. Stolen base.
Did I call the pitch or not?
Yeah.
The 3rd pitch.
Yeah.
It's usually the 3rd or 4th pitch that good base runner will study the pitcher's move to the plate.
And what acceleration he has.
Oh, he can move.
So now Jody and Lee Smith will talk it over. You've got a 1-2 count on Oliver. The tying run is in scoring position, and the ball game is in the 9th inning. On deck, you've got John Russell. Now Joe West, the plate umpire, started out, but Jody and Lee Smith had their conversation. Jody coming back in behind the plate. West has been impatient today, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Ask Billy Connors.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes. He thumbed Billy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Look back to second base. Pitch on the way. Swinging. High bouncer. Shortstop Boa got to come in front of the bag. Throws and got it. Oliver thought he had beaten the rap. But he's been called out on the play. Stone moves over to 3rd. 2 away.
Very fine play by Boa.
Yes, sir.
He got rid of that ball as if it was a hot potato, gentlemen. On the run. As soon as that ball hit his glove, he fired overhand to Durham. And don't think Durham didn't stretch out to make the play.
Tim Corcoran will be the pinch hitter. He will bat for Russell. Now the crowd's going to get up here. They want Big Lee Smith to win this thing. But remember, the tying run is 90 feet away. Corcoran has 2 homers against the Cubs. He's a .269 hitter. 7 for 26 with 4 RBIs. That's against the Cubs. He's a left-hand batter. Lee Smith needs an out. Cubs leading 3-2. Stretches, looks to 3rd, delivers to Corcoran. Swing and a bullet. Hey! Lee Smith has it. Throws to 1st. Oh. The game is over. A bullet. It almost knocked Big Lee Smith backward. But he stood up, threw to 1st, and the ball game is over. Ring that bell. We're going to change the magic number. We're going to take down a number. The number drops. The number's down to 13. Holy Toledo, the Cubs have won. And the magic number drops by 1. It's down to 13. Maybe tomorrow when we get here, it'll be a dozen. But right now, it's 13. Nice going, good kid.
Beautiful, boy. Beautiful game. Cubs fighting back.
The Cubs came from behind with a 3-run 7th, and they have won this ball game by this final score. The Chicago Cubs 3, the Phillies 2.
Well, come on, pretty baby, won't you go today?
Get ready for a whole new sport.
We going off-road tripping in my Chevrolet. It's a high 4-wheeler called a Chevy S10. When you're off-road tripping, it's a man's best friend. We Chevy 4-wheelers are tripping machines. Shift into instant Instatrack and see what I mean.
It's Chevy S10 with shift-on-the-go Instatrack four-wheel drive.
Let's have it out, baby, gonna double back.
Just leave the road behind.
Shift my Chevy in the Instatrack.
Leave the competition locking its hubs.
Through the hills on Saturday night. I'm rotating in the pale moonlight. What's any more wheels out to machine? Shift into Instatrack and see what I mean.
Danny, the baseball game was last week. No one cares anymore. But I was safe. You were out. My dad says he got a pic from it. You'll see I was safe.
Catch baseball's great moments with Color VR 400 color print film. It can stop sports heroes in their tracks.
Okay, just a picture. Were you safe? Look, let's be mature about this. It's not who wins or loses. It's how you play the game. You were out.
Kodak, because time goes by.
Complete Big Ten reports, including a commentary from Commissioner Wayne Duke, and the Notre Dame report featuring in-depth interviews, both come your way every Friday night at 6:30 on WGN Sports Central. All right, this ball game is over, and a very happy crowd as the Cubs came back to win it, and Tim Stoddard showed again what that middle guy's got to do for you.
Yes, indeed. He kept them in, and he gained a victory. And the last play of a one-hopper right back to Smith almost knocked Smith right back. And he made quite a play, especially on a slippery mound.
I was going to say, it's lucky he didn't fall down.
That's right. But the Cubs fighting back took advantage of an inning. We only had 2 innings off of Kuzman. He was very fortunate in getting past Denier twice to pitch to Sandberg on a line drive at one time, and a great play by the shortstop could have really turned the game around had they completed the double play.
All right, what about some Chevrolet player or players, good kid?
Well, I've got my ballot in. I'm waiting for Mr. Lloyd and Mr. Hamilton.
Well, I'll tell you caught me by surprise. I was so delighted with the victory here today, and that last play of the ball game, which had a ton of excitement in it, wondering whether Lee was going to stay on his feet, and then he made an off-angle throw over there to first base, and Durham came up with a great recovery on it for the final out. Well, let me see. Bobby Dernier certainly should figure in it, and certainly Sandberg.
Well, while you think about it, I'll give you my co-player.
All right.
I've thought about it and scratched off 4 guys. My Chevy players of the game will be Boa, 2 hits, 1 big hit in the 7th inning, and Gary Woods on a very fine catch in the 9th inning. Milo?
I think I'm going to go with your first choice there, Larry Boa.
Okay.
Well, Gary Woods also got a hit in that inning as a pinch hitter, so I'm going to say that's a pretty good choice. Boa and Woods.
So the Chevy players of today's victory over the Phillies, co-Chevy players, I should say, Larry Boa and Gary Woods.
I'll be back with the totals right after these messages.
To most do-it-yourselfers, a valuable tool is one they can use for a variety of jobs. Like True Value Hardware Store's Master Mechanic Propane Torch Kit, just $6.49 is their September tool value of the month. Hi, Pat Summerall to say it includes 14 ounces of propane fuel, a pencil point tip, and an instruction manual. And it comes in handy for many jobs. So get your Master Mechanic Propane Torch Kit for only $6.49 while supplies last during September at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
Quick, think of a realtor who can write your mortgage application. It's ERA Real Estate, so now they help you find your home and the money to buy it. Just come into your ERA Real Estate office and apply for your loan there. You'll be working with financing professionals who are interested in seeing your loan go through without delay. And thanks to the muscle of the Commercial Credit Financial Network, ERA can negotiate an attractive package at a competitive rate. Just call 397-2150 or outside Illinois, call toll-free 1-800-ERA-SOLD.
It's the water and the brewing.
Wouldn't change a thing we're doing.
'Cause when we brew it, we do it with style. Whatever you do, make it worthwhile. And when you do it with style.
Jim Harriman Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
If you're a Monday morning quarterback, you'll want to get the bottom line from Bears coach Mike Ditka on the Mike Ditka wrap-up Monday mornings, 7:30 on WGN.
All right, let's take a look at the totals as the Cubs came from behind to knock off the Phillies 3-2 with this total board. Cubs 3-5-1, leaves 7. Winner Stoddard 9-5. No winning RBI. The go-ahead run scored in the 7th inning on the throwing error by Sam Well. Save number 31 for Lee Smith. He didn't have one for a couple of weeks. Now he's getting them in clusters. 31 saves for Lee Smith. Phillies lose it 2-5-1. They leave 5. The Cubs are now 9-8 with Philadelphia, 3-5 at home, and they wrap it up with them tomorrow. It'll be Eckersley against Hudson.
Yes, in a big ball game, as they all are now on this homestand. And the Cubs really coming back and getting a very fine victory tonight, helped by this crowd, Milo, of once again over 30,000. Let me say this also. I want to compliment Harvey and his crew of umpires for going through and finishing this ball game. At any given point, in about 45 minutes, they could have halted play, covered that field to try to keep it in playable shape and gambling on the weather. They did not. They had the ground crew come out 3 or 4 times to improve the field, hopefully that they could get it in and give each team their 9 innings of work.
Good.
Cubs did it at 8.5. So congratulations to Doug Harvey and his crew.
All right, we'll be back to set up tomorrow's finale with the Phillies right after we remind you that today's Cubs victory has been brought to you by G. Heileman Brewing Company, makers of old-style beer. Pure brewed in God's country, slowly and naturally. By Tallman Home Federal, a legacy of care, a future of commitment. By True Value Hardware Stores, the more you've got to do, the more you need True Value Hardware Stores, because they've got what it takes. By Chevrolet, with the technology, the performance, the style.